Time swallows all things, yet the stone remembers. Long before the horizons of Egypt or Sumer, a continent breathed in the dark expanses of the southern oceans. The ancient Tamils called it Kumari Kandam, a realm of kings and sages erased by the primordial fury of the rising deep. It was no myth. It was a geological scar witnessed by the survivors of the great cataclysm. Across continents, the fragments of this forgotten empire remain, encoded in rock, hidden in plain sight. Look at the coastlines. Look beneath the waves where the continental shelves abruptly drop into nothingness. The memory of Lemuria is a ghost that haunts global folklore, a golden age drowned in a single sleepless night. Science calls it the post-glacial flood. The ancients called it the anger of the cosmic waters. But what did they leave behind before the ocean claimed their home? They left a blueprint, a sacred language of stone and stars that spans from India to the isolated islands of the Pacific. It is a riddle written in cyclopean masonry, impossibly large blocks that no nomadic tribe could have moved. We have been taught that civilization is linear, that we are the apex of history. But the ruins beneath the sea suggest we are merely an amnesiac species rebuilding on the graves of giants.
Go to Yonaguni. Off the coast of Japan, massive stone terraces plunge over 100 feet into the dark Pacific. Skeptics call it natural fracture lines, but nature does not cut perfect right angles or carve deep straight channels into solid bedrock. These underwater structures match the terrestrial platforms of South America and ancient India. The ancient Tamil Sangam texts describe an expanse of 49 territories swallowed by the sea. They called this disaster Maduri Kolal, the swallowing of the first great academies of wisdom. When the waters rose at the end of the last ice age, the Sunderland Shelf vanished. A landmass twice the size of India disappeared beneath the South China Sea. This is the missing link of history, the cradle of a global seafaring civilization whose name has been forgotten. Look at the shared architectural signature. The T-shaped stone pillars found at Göbekli Tepe are mirrored in the Pacific Islands. Why did cultures separated by thousands of miles of ocean build the exact same monuments? Because they were inheriting the remnants of a single shattered world. The survivors fled inland. They climbed the highest mountains, bringing with them the sacred geometry of Lemuria. They became the gods of the post-Diluvian world, the bringers of agriculture, astronomy, and law.
The symbols are keys. The primary emblem of this lost empire was the sacred alignment of the three worlds. The left-handed spiral represents the cosmic pole of the abyss, the force that dissolves physical matter back into the primeval ocean. In the esoteric schools, Lemuria was known as the land of the ancestral fire. They understood that everything moves in cycles. Continents rise and continents fall, just as the breath enters and leaves the body. The architecture was built to withstand time itself. No mortar, just gravity, geometry, and perfect resonance. They chose basalt and granite because these stones hold a high crystalline structure. They are natural transmitters of frequency. The temples were not for worship. They were cosmic tuning forks, aligning the local magnetic grid with the stars. When the land sank, the grid was broken. Earth fell into a dark age of spiritual amnesia. The knowledge was hidden in myths, disguised as fairy tales to escape the persecution of time. The legend of the sunken kingdom is universal, from the Celtic Avalon to the Aztec Aztlan. They all point to the same coordinates, the vast silent depths of the southern seas. The maps we use today are incomplete. They show the world after the flood, not the world before.
Look at Easter Island. Isolated by thousands of miles of open water, giant stone faces stare out at the horizon. Local tradition says they were not built by the current inhabitants. They were there before the world changed. Their backs are turned to the sea, as if guarding the memory of a land that once existed behind them. In the valleys of Indonesia, the Bada Valley monoliths stand in total silence. Elongated torsos, massive eyes, unknown origins. Archaeologists claim they are burial markers, but there are no bones, there are no graves. They are boundary stones, markers left at the highest points of the old world to signal where the flooding stopped. The style of these statues is identical across the entire Pacific Rim. This is not a coincidence. It is the signature of an artistic style that was standardized across thousands of miles. A global culture requires global communication. It requires ships that could cross oceans before the invention of the compass.
They navigated by the stars, but not the stars we see today. They mapped the heavens before the axial precession shifted. Their alignment matches the world of 12,000 years ago, the exact date of the Younger Dryas cataclysm. The stone is a clock, and the clock has run out before. To know the future, we must look to the depths. The ocean floor is a vast library of unread history. Lemuria was not a fantasy of the Victorian era. It was a physical reality that our ancestors experienced. They saw the mountains split. They saw the sea turn to boiling foam as the crust shifted. And they left us a warning, written in the only medium that can survive the ages, solid rock. Every monument we build today is fragile. Our steel will rust, our digital archives will vanish in a flash of light, but the stones of Lemuria still stand beneath the Pacific waves, silent witnesses to our ignorance. The mythic past is merely our forgotten reality. When the cycles align once more, the ocean floors will lift, and what was hidden will be revealed to a world that has forgotten how to see. We are not the first. We are simply the latest chapter in a book that has been rewritten 1,000 times. The wisdom of Lemuria is not lost. It waits. It sleeps in the dark current. Listen to the silence of the ancient stones. Remember who you are before the waters rise again. The clock is ticking.